What's up guys, Mike back again today, MF Vape. Thanks for joining the channel once more. Right, what have we got for you today guys? First, before we go into the review, I just want to give a little shout out to Telford Faber for suggesting getting the banner. He said it might give the audience something to look at, so that's what I've done and I think it looks a bit better. So that's out of the way. Cheers Telford. Right, today we are reviewing a clone from China. Oh, naughty. We have got the Radius version 2. And this is from SXK, purchased from 3F Vape. And yeah, had it a week or so now, so I've thrown a few different builds in it. So what we're going to do is we'll go down low, give it an unboxing, put a little build in it. Oh yeah. And then we'll come back up top and I'll tell you what I really think of this Radius version 2. See you down low in a bit. Right, down at the table guys, we've got this SXK Radius V2 RDA. As you can see, it's made in China. Quick look around the box. These SXK ones always come in these clear plastic boxes. They're not very much to write home about. That. Right, inside this little tube we have the infamous blue screwdriver. It's flathead, this one. You have a couple of spare beefy screws with this deck, very nice screws, and 2 O-rings and a regular 510 pin there. This comes pre-installed with the squonk pin. We'll get that out. Right, and here is our Radius version 2. As you can see, it's a stunning looking RDA. Very well machined. See if you can see the writing on there. There's beautiful. And we'll have a look at the top section here. Manufactured by Vicious Ant, which is a lie obviously, Precision Engineering and Research Incorporated, made in the Philippines. That writing is absolutely tiny guys, and they've done a very good job. I think I'm not sure if it's laser etched or if it's just printed on there, but it looks like a bloody good job there. As you can see, we have a stainless steel drip tip and it's a 510 connection. You've got the O-ring on your drip tip, no O-ring on the inside, so the actual drip tip O-ring will help it seal on there. Here's your sleeve, here's your 2 airflow slots. We'll talk about that in a minute. A quick look at the underside. We have a made up serial number. The squonk pin is installed on this one and it says Vicious Ant, which is also a lie. If you see down the bottom here, we have like a lock-in feature. So if you turn it to the left as far as it can go, it locks into place, and that gives you your widest airflow configuration, which with these 2 slots at the top here. It's only on one side, the airflow, as you can see. And if we turn it, right, just tighten it up first. If you turn it the other way, it goes, this is the most restriction you're going to get on this one. Let's get that camera to focus. So you've got about like half a hole on each side. But to tell the truth, the best way that I've found rocking it is with the airflow fully open, because otherwise it does get too hot. So we'll just take the cap off. Quick look underneath there. This is made all from 316L stainless steel. Got no doming at all there, but we have got like a small step system going on. Right, and here is the deck section. As you can see, we have very generous size Phillips head screwdrivers. They're absolutely pucker, these ones. and it's 22 millimeters. Forgot to say that earlier, the diameter. So basically your coil will just go from, it will be mounted in the center here. So you can't have really massive coils in this particular one, but it's not really designed for that. And if I show you this airflow, this is the most interesting part. As you can see on the top cap, the airflow holes there, so the air will actually come in and it will hit the top section here, and it travels down and then it will go through these holes on either side. They call it a vortex airflow system, and then it comes out of these holes, which as you can see they're like on the diagonal there and there, and your coil's like mounted here. You just want to have your coils just slightly, I have it so half the coil is actually in the hole basically. I'll show you what I mean later on. So the air can travel underneath, and then as you breathe up it will be concentrated into the mouthpiece. So that's a good look around the deck. So you've got those two big posts on the one side, and as you can see here, this is your positive block here, and you can see the peak insulator that goes around, and when you unscrew the squonk pin you can actually take this section out, and we can show you that in a bit. The negative post is obviously milled into the actual deck, as you can see there. Right, we've got the squonk pin in already, but I'll show you how to take it out and put the regular 510 in. So it's literally just a flathead screwdriver, as far as you can, and it comes out with another peak insulator there. So that should just pull off, and you get your other 510. So it should look something like that, and I expect this block here will be loose. Just have a look. Yeah, that would come out. I'm not going to try now, but you can see there that it's held in. It sits in that with that nice insulator inside there. So then you just tighten it back up basically. Right guys, we've got our build here. I'm using an NI80 fuse Clapton. So you don't want to use massive coils on this, it doesn't accommodate it very well really. So this is about the biggest you're going to get. They come out around 0.3 ohms I believe. It's a coilology. So literally just leave the wire underneath the screw and then tighten it down, and do the same on both sides. Right, I also suggest, you can see here, I can try trimming that lead off, but I'm just going to try and tuck it out of the way, just underneath the screw. You don't want it anywhere near the outer sleeve, because it will short out on the sleeve there otherwise. So you want to get that tucked in as much as you can. Make sure there are no loose strands floating around inside the deck, because that could cause a short as well. Right, you now want to lower this coil, like I said, so it needs to come, the way I found it the best flavour, you want it just about slightly under where the top of the screw is there. You can see that? And this means when you actually look through this hole, which you're not going to be able to see here, but what I've been doing is holding it up to a light, and then you can just about see the underneath of your coil. So like half of the coil is going to be getting the air. You know what I mean? It's just so you can see half the coil on the top there. And that's the best flavour I've been getting. I've put 4 or 5 builds in this week, and we'll talk about that later on up top. But this is my preferred build. Like I say, I'm normally a stainless steel lover, but for this deck, for me, this nichrome cord is coming out for the best flavour. Get your cotton in. There you go, nice and taut. So you don't need masses of cotton here, because obviously it's only a 3.5mm juice well, and we're squonking, so right about there should be fine. Right, so now you can give it a little rake out and then tuck it on inside the deck. So now what's left to do is juice her up, and then I'll just show you in squonk mode. Let's give it a little squonk. There you can just see the liquid coming through there. All over the mod. What a fucking idiot. Right guys, as you can see from that, it's very easy to flood the fucking mod with liquid when you squonk. So the best thing to do is to just prime up your coil on top first, just like that. And then put your top cap on, just like so, and then you can squonk it. And the way I've been doing it, you squonk until you can just see it coming out of the ear. You'll see when you do it, and then the rest of it will be sucked out through your squonk bottle anyway. But yeah, it's not a very good idea to squonk this until you put the top cap on. So that's it for the download section, guys, and I'll see you up top in a bit. Back up top, guys, for the SXK Radius version 2, originally by Vicious Ant. Right, what do I think of this little puppy then? Well, the aesthetics of the first Pro, I just think it looks absolutely divine in this stainless steel. You can see the intricate detail of the writing, even on the top section there, which is like minuscule, and they've done a very good job in cloning the original. I know Dean, the vaping biker, said that they'd have a job cloning this, but I think he's been proven wrong, because I haven't seen the original, but I've seen pictures of it, and this one does look like a very good copy. So props to SXK yet again, another great little RDA. It's very well machined, this one, as you can see with the intricacies all around. It's just very smooth, there's not many rough edges anywhere. You know, that's a little bit sharp there, but everything else is just, it's just very well machined. So that's definitely a big pro. Right, yeah, the attention to detail, like I already said, it's just it's all together, it's all there, and it's very well done. It's squonk friendly, and I think that's what we require in RDAs these days, and it squonks very well. 22mm ATI, push it for 1 or 2 seconds and it's filled up the deck there, saturated. Just have a quick puff. Very smooth airflow, very pleasurable vape. Right, the airflow design, I think this is a good bit of innovation. I know it's obviously not SXK's innovation, but these two airflow slots here, when you take the top deck off, you see the actual airflows are milled into the deck here. So the air's coming in through the top cap and it's going down, and then it's coming through these little holes there, back underneath the coils. And it works very well. It's very interesting design, that. I've not seen it in any other RDA, but I think that's a very good feature. And yeah, and the fact that when you put it on the device, because it's got this little lock-in bit down the bottom, much like the drop, I believe. But it means you can undo the device very easily to take it off the mod, and basically you tighten it back that way, and that's your airflow fully open. And then you can have it restricted, and you can't really see on here, but literally you can have it about halfway. That's the most restriction you're going to get. But personally speaking, I found that you do need the airflow fully open, otherwise there's not enough air getting to the actual coils, and I find you get too hot a vape. So yeah, you do need the airflow fully open, but it does work very well. So props there. The Phillips screws, I showed you down low, that they are absolutely pucker. They really are. Big, fat, beefy Phillips screws, and you're not going to have any problems stripping those. And it's just a very nice deck design. You're not going to get your beefy, like staggered fused Claptons in here. It's not really designed for that. But I've got the fused Clapton in here, the NI80. 4.5 wraps is basically a 5 wrap one, but I turned it upside down, so yeah, and I've slightly spaced it, but that fits in here perfectly. But yeah, the build deck, I really enjoy building on this one. I do like good quality screws, so that's a big plus point. Well done, SXK. It does fit 510 drip tips, so we'll give that a pro, because of the fact that that stainless steel one is just far too small. It's just, it looks the tits because it's all stainless, but it's just too small. I've borrowed this one off the what's it called, the Smock Spirals tank, I believe, and it fits on there like very nice. It's a little bit taller, so it means that you're not burning your lips on there, because the thing is, with a device like this, you've got your coils are not obviously going to be very far away from the actual the barrel, so it does get hot if you're putting higher wattages. So that's one thing I was going to talk about in a minute. It does vape better at lower wattages. This is coming out at 0.32 ohms, and I've got it at 32 watts on the drone. Just give you another example. Like at 32 watts, you can take a really nice long drag, and it's very satisfying, smooth vape, very, very flavourful. Yeah, we'll get onto the flavour, shall we? I'll tell you what, we'll come back to the flavour. I'm going to go on to the cons first, because there are a few on this one. The fact that it's 22 millimeters isn't going to suit everybody, but basically it is just a little squonker atty, but others might prefer a larger build deck so you can put your bigger cores in. So that's maybe a subjective con there. The packaging, as ever with your 3F Vape clones, SXK, they come in this little clear box, and it leaves a lot to be desired. Also the spares, I think you only get you get 2 screws, to tell the truth. That's going to be enough for this one, and you do get a little screwdriver and a couple of spare O-rings, so it's not too bad, I suppose. So but that's that. Right, this did take me a few builds before I got a decent enough flavourful vape. The first one I built was a stainless steel round wire micro coil. And I thought I'd try that. I thought that would probably give really decent flavour, but it didn't matter where I positioned it. It was getting a really metallic taste. So I binned that coil, and then I went on to, I thought I'll do a little parallel coil. So we put 2 strands of stainless and basically did the same micro coil. Obviously that lowered the ohms by half. And then I was finding that it was getting far too hot for the actual RDA, so that was a no-no too. So I thought, all right, what are we going to do here? Because I thought surely the smaller wire should be, you know, if I'm going to put anything bigger in it, it's just going to make it even hotter. But anyway, next I went for the Chris Grimes 316L stainless steel alien coils that I use on my the Bravo RTA, and they also work on RDAs as well. So I put that in there, but I wasn't getting any flavour out of that as well. And I was thinking, this isn't right. This can't be right, because that's usually tastes very good in other RDAs and tanks. So I was getting ready to throw this little Atty away. I was going to just put it on the shelf, but in the end I thought, I don't usually do Ni80 anymore, nichrome, but I thought I'm going to have to try it. So I got the old Coilologies out, put the fuse Clapton in, the ones that come out about 0.25, 0.3 ohms. And that's what we did in the build earlier as well, and that's what I got in there now. And now we're getting some very good flavour, and it's not that warm either. I was expecting it to be too hot of an I-80, but that's the beauty of using like the drone DNA regulated device. You can like bump the wattage down, because I put it on the pulse for you. Just bear with me. Right, this isn't quite fully charged. It's probably got about, I don't know, 3.8 volts left in it. But just give you a test there. Still feels a little bit too hot for me. Like, I don't know what that's pushing, maybe 45, 50 watts. But that's the trouble with mechanicals. It's fine when you get a right build and the right RDA. But I personally prefer it on the drone. It's just too many watts going through there on the mechanical. You probably need to boost it up to like 0.5, 0.6 ohms maybe, but like I say, that's what my micro cores are coming out at, and it just tasted like a bag of shite. So that's why I'm sticking with the Ni80s and I'm using it on the drone. Anyway, so the other thing is that the positioning of the coils on this is paramount. Because of this, the way the airflow is, you need to get the coils so that you can actually look through the holes. I won't be able to show you on camera here, but you can look through the holes, like put it into a light or something, and you just want to be able to see the underneath of the coils. Like, it looks like I've got it positioned quite low there, but if you have it raised too far up, I was finding that I wasn't getting the flavour. So you need to make sure that the air is just like basically hitting the bottom underside of the coil, and that's given the best flavour. So you need to do a lot of trial and error with this one, but once you hit it, you'll be very satisfied indeed, because now this is one hell of a flavourful atomizer. Little fuse Clapton in there. Oh, with the taller drip tip, this is now going to be in my rotation. It's a bloody good little 22mm squonk RDA. So props to SXK for that. Right, what else have we got? Mentioned like the heat, the O-ring. You only get 1 or 2 spares in this one, and I have noticed this bottom one starting to fray. I've been using it about a week now. I've got loads of spare O-rings, so it's not really a problem for me. You're going to expect it on some clones, but because it's quite a snug fit, it's getting a bit more looser now because it's juiced up. When you're first using it, you do want to make sure you've put a little bit of e-liquid on there to help lube it up, because my O-ring anyway start to fray, so it needs to be mentioned. Another pro actually is this, you can buy a separate top cap, or you might have to buy the old unit again, but like I said, this actually cost, what did I pay, about $12.99. It works out about £8 or £9. So for that money, like, you could buy like 3 or 4 of them. You know, the original cost about $85, so you could buy 6 to 7 for the same price. yeah, so the fact you can get the Ultim, that might run a little bit cooler maybe, so that's always a good thing that you could experiment with. But anyway, to sum it up, I think what I would say is this is definitely very good value for money. It's very flavourful. If you can persevere, get the right build for you, you won't be disappointed. And for like £9, $13 or whatever it is, you can't really go wrong. And it just looks sick as you like. And I'm very pleased with this one. Right, so that wraps it up for this one, guys. For anyone new out there and you're watching this and you like what you've seen, I'd be very grateful if you give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel. I'll be very grateful. I've got about 70 plus subscribers now, so keep pushing. Let's get up to 100 in the near future. I'll be very grateful for you all if we could reach that target in the next couple of months. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.